अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्रीमद्रामानुजाचार्यं पार्थसारथिसद्गुरुं श्रीमन्नल्लाञ्चक्रवर्तिकृष्णमाचार्यदेशिकं श्रीमद्रघुनाथाचार्यं नानाशास्त्रविशारदं श्रीमन्महामरङ्गण्टि श्रीरङ्गाचार्यपण्डितं श्रीमदभिनवव्यासं कन्दाडवंशसम्भवं श्रीमदप्पलाचार्यमार्यं रामायणशिरोमणिं श्रीमत्सन्तानगोपालाचार्यं आम्नायपारगं श्रीवेङ्कटार्य अप्पकुण्डार्यमार्यौ पितामहौ द्वौ तापसौ श्रीमद्वेङ्कटाचार्यम् अस्मद्भ्रातरं चिन्तितार्धतं वारं वारं नमाम्यहं भक्त्या गुरुपरम्पराम्. मद्रक्षणैकदीक्षश्रीवैदेही रामभद्रयोः पदद्वयी प्रवचने वाचस्पत्यं प्रयच्छतु. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. भगवद्बन्धुलारा, welcome to TKVR, Temple Kiosk of Vedic Relics or Telugu Kandala Vedic Repertory, the particular segment Alps RD, where the ancient concepts according to Shruti, Smruti, Purana, Itihasa, Agama are mentioned. They are to be presented to the listeners in the perspective of American English literature or American literature or English literature. That means echoes of Vedic sentiments in English literature. That is to be presented in this piece. Already we had some 8 segments. The next segment follows now. And it is the work of people, it is the want of people, rather not work, want only, of the ever generation to criticize and blame the prior or preceding generation, thinking of the specialities of the present running generation. And whenever they feel odd for any custom, for any principle, for any piece of work, or for any other segment, if they are not satisfied, they feel odd and inconsistent and unreliable, then they will criticize. Also, they pat their backs, each generation, they pat their backs in ecstasy for each and every event of the present day situation. At times, they may be yielding wrong results also. Still, they will feel that, yes, this generation is excellent. The earlier generations are rotten. They are not useful. How they lived in those days with all these superstitions and ideas and taboos. Everybody will be saying like that. Similarly, people of old age, the people from other generation, they also feel in the same manner. Actually, this quotation is from the Mahabharata. I want to give you the Telugu translation. Actually, this word is given by Bhishmacharya to Satyavati when the kingdom came to some difficulty. Gata kalamu melu vatsu kalamu kantin. They cannot match or adjust with the present generation and present changes, etc. And they feel golden age is gone. We can't imagine what may befall at later stage. This is the situation. Every generation, actually not in generation, every year, one people feels like that usually. But Indian school of philosophy declares very clearly in Yajurveda and Rigveda also, Bhavishyadhi Bhuyo Bhutat. My dear friend, never feel good about only the past and never blame the present for the future. It's wrong. Each coming day brings light on our life in a different profile. So whatever good is there in the earlier generation, let us accept. Whatever wrong things are there, let us drop. In the Shikshavalli they will say, Yadite Vichikitsava Chat, Dharma Vichikitsava Syat, Etatra Brahmana Sammarjina, Yukta Ayukta. And whatever good we have done, follow that one. Whatever mistakes we have committed, please avoid them and take care of those things. That is the word given in Shikshavalli. Actually, William Blake very clearly says, we look at the Supreme Lord is the master of time through the wrong end of long telescope of time, because time is the nurse and breeder of all good. Hope is a lover's staff and stage. This is the word by William Blake as well as Shakespeare also. Again, Robert Brooke, and he also says, Robert Brooke is there and Rupert Brooke also. Both mentioned the same thing. We darkly know, by faith we cry, the future is not wholly dry. Please remember that one. Why this aspect is considered today for this talk, the answer is given now. Some questions and scenario of questions many students are presenting to me. Most of the students are from engineering branch and they have studied well and they have the chance to go to foreign countries for higher studies as well as jobs also. Whenever they come across me, whenever they visit me, they will be asking the same type of questions. They will be throwing same type of queries to me, and usually people will be asking questions. They will not have patience to listen to the answer clearly. So I have collected certain questions, certain inquiries, certain what I have to say, misconceptions they harbor. That list I have taken, and I want to give the answers for those questions in the light of Indian philosophy, of course, along with the help of quotations from Shakespeare, Chaucer, Milton, Robert Frost, H.W. Longfellow, and so on. Because it has become the order of the day. If you speak in Telugu or Sanskrit, people are not listening to them unless some pepper is added along with English. They are not. This is not the trouble with Tamilians. This is not the want of Hindi people. This is not the habit of Kannadas or Karens. They will enjoy their lectures in their own language very happily. Very rarely English is taken into their lectures, that's all. But somehow Telugu people are very much interested in listening to any other language lectures rather than in Telugu. You see, Telugu people are really so great. They will learn Malayalam for the sake of Ayyappa festival. And they will learn Marathi because they pray Sai Baba. And similarly, they will enjoy the Bengali because they are interested in some Bengali music, Rabindra Sangeet, something like that. They will learn Hindi. In olden days also, Sri Lanka radio station, people are fond of listening to the songs in Hindi rather than Telugu songs on All India Radio, like that. But they will feel odd to speak in English, to speak in Telugu, to listen to the word Telugu. They will chant many things in other languages. They will not read the so-called Kasi Majili Kathalu, but they are fond of Harry Potter. Kasi Majili Kathalu is a fictional story. It runs for nearly 6 volumes by some Shastri of 1950s. An excellent set of books, but we are not interested. Harry Potter recently, some 15 or 20 years back, it has come into picture, lakhs and lakhs of copies are sold. Similarly, R.K. Narayan has written beautiful novels. His first novel, Swami and Friends, nobody was ready to print that one. Then he sent that novel to London, where his friend was there, Maniar Subramaniam. And he asked, read the book. If you are interested, see that it is circulated. Otherwise, throw into Thames. Accidentally, Graham Greene went through that one. He has published in those days, 1953. Later, people started, R.K. Narayan is our fellow. So, this is the habit in India, particularly in Andhra Pradesh. That's why I am taking the help of English literature to project the concepts of Indian philosophy. They are enjoined in Vedas, epics, Puranas, or treatises of code of conduct, that is Dharma Shastras, etc. I hope you may accept my presentation. If something is good, please suggest for your friends. If something is fishy or something wrong is there in my discoursing, you please let me know it. I shall try to check it, because I am not a literature person. After all, I am a mathematics teacher. In a chamber, a closed chamber, I shall speak about technicalities in mathematics, simple formulae for the budding engineers, that's all. But I am not a person from literature. That's the problem. I read, that's all. Whatever something, I will be retaining the literature in my mind, just like our teacher used to say, raining in coffee estate. Usually, the entire water will not be sucked by the soil there. Whatever water is coming, 70% of water will drip the crop and flow away. Similarly, I also do like that. So, with my petty knowledge, I want to present you certain things with the help of English literature to throw light on the concept of Vedic chants, etc. So, please, and I want to present you the scenario or the questionnaire presented by our NRI friends, and definitely the questions from my students as well as some well-educated software engineers and few NRIs too. They help me to guide me, goad me to answer with my limited knowledge only. Sorry, I want to present you the pieces. Please listen to me. Actually, before going to present the questionnaire, etc., I opted to take the help of the poets, I said. Definitely, our Telugu people are accustomed to, are habituated to, are influenced by Anglomania. That's why I am taking this one. Now, I don't want to elaborate this theme further, but I want to provide you the questionnaire. Question number 1. According to different schools of philosophy, religion, and culture or different countries, there shall be only one God, only one codebook of philosophy, only one process prescribed for worship. Where the prescription is for the piece of worship, only one model will be there. Then, sir, why in India we are having such variety of things? Why so many schools of religion, so many trends, so many kinds of gods or mini gods, or so many kinds of preachers, so many types of pieces of science, religion, and school of other things? Why? Why is it so? Why these difficult and different cults came into picture to trouble many people? And so many kinds of preceptors, babas, preachers, and self-appointed teachers and preachers. Why? What is the reason? What for? Next one. Second question is, because they are observing all the programs on TV on astrology, numerology, philology, whatnot, everology, and including Walaji oil also, something like that. Okay, that's why they are asking. After all, planets and stars are there, and elements of environment such as earth, water, air, luster, etc. All these are part and parcel of this universe, that's all. Some ecological balance is maintained among them. And how can you say that the so-called planets, stars, days, and the particular timings will be influencing the nature of human beings? And you will say that in palmistry, we will be observing that one, the lines on the palm, and we are going to give you information. Definitely, animals are also having such lines only on their faces, on their body, and the palms. Yes. Is there any science for them? Is it why so? Like that, people will be asking. So, how can you say that they are going to influence at all? That's the problem. And is it not superstition? You are attributing nonsense to the people and to nonsense to the science, and you are making people confused. And at the same time, you are squeezing money. You are getting popularity at the cost of innocence of the simpletons. Sorry, nowadays simpletons are more intelligent. Only great people, highly educated people will be running after astrologers, palmists, meditation camps, etc. That people are forgetting. Okay, leave it. The third question is, what is the guarantee that the stars and planets have influence on any person or clamp sway on human beings for a certain period? How can you say that? What is the origin for that one? How can you say that it is true? Is there a particular branch which is accepted universally? That's the question. Like that, a galaxy of questions will be rallied upon me. It shall be so long a list. That's the problem. And I remember an event that was talked about. My grandfathers. I was brought up among the family of 4 grandfathers. One evening they are talking to each other. Some jokes, some pranks, something like that. I am doing my homework. I am very much interested in one of the jokes. Some lady was traveling by the lately presented Guntur passenger. She was traveling, going to Guntur or Tenali someplace. And because it's a passenger, it is running just like a snail only. At every half an hour, it will stop at the outer signal or some station, every place. She is taking care of 6 children. They are also following her. They are also in the compartment. Whenever the train is going to be stopped, some vendor of sweets or peanuts or some eatables, some delicacies will be coming over there, shouting their ware. And the children started crying, I want that one, I want this, like that. Though the mother is very fond of the children, she is not having sufficient revenue in her purse. That's the problem. So she managed to do something, and she was trying her level best to pacify the children. But after all, child psychology, they will not be so easily pacified. For this one, there is a story of Birbal and Akbar also, that you know it. Then one of the co-passenger, some other lady, older to this lady, commented, Amma, why did you not leave half of the people at home? And you might have traveled easily with the 3 children or 2 children. Why did you not do that one? You see, it is so difficult to manage these people. Then this lady, the mother of 6 children, blushed. She is about 42 years age. She blushed and she replied, this is the joke given by my grandfathers. Auntie, actually, I have done the same thing. There are some more children at home. These cannot be left at home. They are fond of me. That's why they followed. That means she has 12 children. In those days, children will be like that in any family, just like cricket team, something like that. Similarly, here, when I am presenting the questions, only few questions I am providing you, and only few references also I can give you, but so much of lengthy answers are there. So much of information is left out. I am sorry. I am a simple man. That's why whatever I can provide you in the simplest manner, in my humble way, and I shall be presenting you. That's why don't feel otherwise if I have left any important issue midway, or if I could not meet your requirement and intelligence in representing the answers. Please remember that one. So, this is the situation. List of questions also will be like that only. Now, answers follow one by one. 1. Indian tradition too has only one and only one God, one and only one book. People will not realize that one. Yes, the God is known as Supreme Paramatma Parabrahman. Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahudha Vadanti. At home, lady will be there, mother will be there. She is called mother by the children. She is the wife of a particular person. She is the daughter-in-law for in-laws. She is sister-in-law for the latter members, like that. Only one person is there who is managing. Don't say that housewife. Housewife is a horrible word that should not be used. She is a homemaker. She is a homemaker, only one. But she is addressed with different tags by different people. Similarly, head of the family. Head of the family, who is that? Either lady or gent, no problem. And head of the family is only one, but he or she is addressed with different tags. That's all. That means with reference to each person, a particular piece of responsibility the person will be having, a particular duty they will be having, and particular activity they will be doing. Supreme God also is just like that according to Veda. Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahudha Vadanti. That is work distribution, power distribution, something like that. So that's why so many gods, so many classes of people, so many minion gods like that, that's there. But only one book is there, that is simply Veda. Suppose you go to Roman culture or Latin field or some other one, some other tradition, whenever you go through the history of books, history of them, you will find before Christ, after Christ, Anno Domini BC AD. But unfortunately, for Vedic concept, Indian tradition, BC is not sufficient at all. Before Christ, up to what extent they can stretch their imagination? 2000 or 3000 years only maximum before Christ. But our Vedic culture is age-old one, millions of years old. Krita, Treta, Dvapara, Kali Yuga are mentioning. You just go through the Puranas. How many thousands of years will be there in each period you observe? So, Indian philosophy, Indian school of thought, Indian tradition is from times immemorial. That is there. Don't think that I am boasting of myself or I am boasting of our tradition only. It is not so. Even Greek and French, all those people, when they want to mention, they can stretch back their imagination to maximum 2000 years or so. Only the marking will be BC AD. That's all. Please remember that one. And the culture, if you want to take it is emerged years and years back like that. The unique code book of conduct or book is Veda. The treatise of Trov. I have to recollect the word given by C. Rajagopalachari. Yes, it is called Treasure Trove of Hindu Religion, Tradition and Culture. C. Rajagopalachari has given such a beautiful word, treasure trove. That's all. It is not a book simply written by, composed by somebody else. The branches in Veda are Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Sama and Atharvana Veda. They contain code of righteousness conduct. Thousands of years ago, it is believed that Vedas are extolled or taught by Supreme God Himself without manifesting Himself. He has just given the knowledge to our ancient sages and seers. They have conceived, they have perceived that one. They contemplated on that one. Later, they have passed on the entire knowledge by the time printing was not there, scribing is not there. They used to listen from the Guru and later transmit like that. Hearing and transferring, that's all. Like that, it is believed Vedas are extolled and taught by Lord only, and that's why they are gradually presented to us from our ancient sages and seers. That you have to believe. For example, you will say that Vedas are to be revised, they are to be rewritten. You observe certain pieces of observations in Muslim community or English community or some other countries, they will say that due to this we are following this mode, due to this something like that they will say. Suppose you ask a question them, why you are following this principle, from where you got it, they will be helpless. For that, a simple example I shall give you, then I shall go to elaboration of the significance of Vedas. You observe in Muslim community, all the males will be having surma for the eyes. Of course, ladies will have that surma like that, katuka that you said. Then, why males had practiced that one? You ask them, how many will be able to answer the question? No, we are not. But the root is there in Vedas. For example, in Indian philosophy or Indian tradition, the boys also will be having that one katuka in marriages or thread marriages, etc., 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 or when they are performing a puja, a particular puja or yajna, they will have it. Ladies will be having it. What for? That is given in two Vedas, Yajurveda as well as Atharvana Veda. There is a story. What is the story? According to Indian mythology, accidentally Indra has committed a blunder related to Guru and he has to pay the penalty and cost also. Then by the time, somehow story is so long, a Rakshasa came into picture. He is called Vrtrasura and he has performed excellent holy sacrifices, meditated, contemplated, did tapas like that, austerities he observed, and he has become invincible. Somehow, Indra killed him. While killing, the body of the Vrtrasura is to be sliced into pieces. Then only he will die. By the time, what happened? His pupil of the eye fell on the soil. Tasya kaninika parapatat tadanjanamabhavat. That has become Katuka. And from that one, because Vrtrasura is a great mendicant, is almost like a Brahmarshi. So the spiritual power is packed in the pupil of the eye. That's one. That's why it is claimed that when males are having that one, the marking on the eyes, they will be succeeding in all sorts of aspects, especially when they are going for a battle, they should have that one. That's why in Muslim community, once upon a time, they were always engaged in wars of lower scale or higher scale. That's why their prophets mentioned this one. You should have this one, surma or katuka, something like that. So like this, plenty of examples I can provide you with my petty knowledge. Please remember that one. Those who are well versed, who are great mendicants, or who are got people of austerities and wider knowledge, they can give you a galaxy of examples of that model. That's why Vedas, every bit in our real life, is finding the root in Vedas. Rig Veda is mentioned, is aimed at the invitation of the gods. Yajurveda, the hardware, we call it in computer languages. That means how to perform this one, how to arrange, what are the equipment required, like that. So that is given by Yajurveda. Samaveda for the singing process. Atharvana Veda deals with the do's and don'ts. That's the problem. Like that. So, this is the greatness of Vedas. You observe in other cultures, you take any book, on that book again, there are so many other changes, other diversions, re-editions like that. Among them also, you will say that only one God is there. In Buddhism, only one God. Why two branches are there? In similarly Muslim community, why two branches? In Christianity, why there? But we are having like that. What is it? Dvaita, Advaita, Visishtadvaita. They are not different branches. They are different. That is called, we shall say, unity in diversity. The concepts are different, no doubt about it. But finally, they will speak about Brahman, Parabrahman. All the three schools accept Brahma Sutras. All the three schools accept Vedas. They will take the help of Puranas. That's all. But they will not be contradicting each other. But what happens there? You observe that one. So, this is the first part of the answer. Vedas, the special feature of Vedas is they are absolutely essential for building moral integrity. This is the first part, and other segments will follow after a few minutes in the latter segment. With this, I seek your permission to dissolve the session. Thank you.